Hey there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Myriad Paths podcast. As usual, let's do it a quick check-in. Rui, how have you been?
I'm doing good, man. Been sort of like quite neck deep in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's a fun game. They made some interesting changes from, the previous entries. But as someone who's played Monster Hunter for a while, I'm enjoying it. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
The fact that you can aim is huge.
Oh, yeah.
But I noticed that you've been playing Wilds as well.
Yep.
How
that is
have
true.
you been finding it?
Well, as a person who's been wanting to try to get into Monster Hunter, I do agree. I really love the changes. Like, I used to play a little bit of Monster Hunter World, right? But
Sure.
some things didn't really click that well. But with Rise, not Rise. With Wilds, I don't know. It's really fun to play. It's really fun to play. I love it so far.
The changes they added, I think it's very, it's good quality of life. It's just making, I think, Monster Hunter more approachable.
Oh yeah,
more accessible, right?
Yep.
For
Agreed.
like I said, first comers or the ones that want to try Monster Hunter. So it's a good thing for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this is a healthy direction for the game. It's been, I just finished like low rank. Who knows?
Ooh, very nice. I will see you in high rank, man.
Yep. Well, I'll see you soon. Well, not soon. I don't know. I'm still starting out. I'm just starting out with high rank, so we'll see.
Yeah, as long as you're enjoying it, man. Take your time.
Yep. Oh, one thing about Wilds that this is like outside of gameplay. My God, the character creation. Like I've been seeing like how creative people have been getting with that, with like their own character and their palico, like their cats. It's really fun to play around. Like this is like one of those games in recent times that has really good character customization.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't spend too much time in my character creation. I was like 15 minutes and I was done. But I've heard of people spending an hour or 2 hours creating their character.
Yeah.
I didn't really. I mean, I cared about how my character looked, obviously, but never really to the point of like, oh my god, I'm gonna spend 5 hours creating the perfect character. The cat is more important in my opinion.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people share that sentiment. In this episode, well, that's the quick update about us, Monster Hunter Wilds, and with this episode, we're still going to continue to talk about languages. So, as some of you guys know, in the last episode, we talked about the English language, or our experiences with the English language. And now we're going to talk about another second language that we have in common, which is Japanese.
Yes. Japanese. Japanese indeed. So I guess to start us off,
Right.
Let's sort of like dive into the reason why we picked up Japanese.
Okay.
Well, I mean, obviously, probably yours is more, I guess, obvious because you were studying in Japan for your undergraduate.
Right.
But, tell us more a bit about why you learned Japanese.
I learned it, at first, it was mandatory. And during my first year, for the foreign students in the undergraduate program in English, we have to take the classes for credits for a year. So it's a required class. And well, initially it was just that, and then I started to do more activities within my dormitory. So I started to pick up Japanese more and more, and then eventually I wanted to get better at the language, just because, due to the media that I consume, like anime,
of course,
games, even some VTubers, watching streams.
Sure.
So like I just want to get better at it, and then it's after that 1 year of required classes, it's been more of a passive learning. So
okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, so VTubers, I know what VTubers are, but I think some of our listeners might not know. or not familiar with what VTubers are, so
Right.
really quickly, do you want to introduce what they are?
For sure. With pleasure. So, VTubers. So VTubers essentially, they're just, well, at least most of them, they're streamers. So they're, you could say they're internet personalities, but instead of like showing their real faces, they use cartoon avatars, and mostly anime-themed cartoon avatars. So there's several reasons why people want to do that, and one of them is being privacy and safety, really, or getting out of your comfort zone. Because when you're exposing like your like your real life face on the internet, like there are some risks involved, you know, like risks with celebrities, stalkers, things like that.
Of course, yeah.
And for some people, like using a VTuber avatar makes it more accessible or easier for them to put themselves out there. Maybe they even feel more comfortable using the VTuber avatar to get into like a better headspace to express themselves. So yeah,
fair enough.
I think that's the main reason, really. And yeah, but in recent days, like there are so many variety of VTubers, I feel. So you know, you can pick pick whoever you want to follow. For example, like if they're playing this same game as you, or if they're really good at like having casual conversations. So you know, it's basically streamers, yeah. You know, like with streamers as well, like you can pick and choose whoever you want to watch, and
of course,
right, depending on like what type of content you like, and you can choose. Same thing. So yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well, there you go, guys. Just a bit about VTubers for those of you who are interested in them.
Yeah, do give them a look. As we'll learn later, like that can also be like how you can start picking up languages, like foreign languages, in a more like in a setting that you like, right? Like it doesn't have to be forced. Right, more casual setting, more well, quote unquote fun setting. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Right. So I guess going back a little bit to your Japanese learning. So for you, it was, of course, it was mandatory.
It was.
Because you were in Japanese uni. But then after that mandatory learning, so I guess what I was interested in is that for that mandatory learning, right, was there a particular level that you needed to score or you needed to achieve? Or was it just like, hey, get used to the language, but then after this mandatory lesson, you know, good luck kind of system?
I think it's more so since you have to work for credits, there are still exams and things like that, so you're expected to at least graduate from the class with a D.
Okay.
At least, right?
Okay.
So like at least, like, you know, like that's the bare minimum, like, you know, this is for credits, this is just easy credits, you know, please do it and stuff like that. Okay. So I don't so aside from that, they didn't really make it. Yeah, they didn't really put any well guardrails or like any other, what do you call that, demands from that point on. Okay. Once you're done with the class, that's it. Okay. Like, so 1 year of class done. Although for some people, like, you can pick up like more advanced classes, which can involve more discussions, if I remember. So it involves more discussion. There's also even a class on like business Japanese, where it goes deeper into Yep, we're gonna talk about that too, right? Sure. Especially on your side. Oh my god. Like with job hunting and all that stuff in Japan. Like so I think that's what the class goes what the class goes over. You know, like business mannerisms, probably like the different keigo, sonkeigo, whatever, like the different exactly, like all those really like high level Japanese stuff that is well applicable in offices, you know, to be fair, but businesses, you know. Right.
Interesting. So it wasn't particularly like forced upon you guys. It was just like, yo, take this, but then after that it's up to you, kind of thing.
Yeah, after that's up to you. Like, well, they would expect you to, you know, interact more with like the Japanese, just interact more with like Japanese students. Try to pick up the language more naturally. So which is, it can be both a good and a bad thing, because if you don't make it mandatory, then like some people would, if some people didn't really have it in them to like improve more, then like that's it, you know, that's the end of the road. But with, so yeah, it's well, you know, but then again, I do still think it's a good thing that they don't really make it obligatory.
Sure.
Other than that first 1 year.
Sure.
Because, yeah, well, I mean, in the end, like I still picked up the language one way or another. So there you go. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. Yeah, for sure. That's great. Great to hear.
Yeah.
Cool.
And what about you? Because from what I know, even before you came to Japan, like you've already spoken quite a lot of Japanese. Like you're already pretty proficient at it, right? And is that correct?
I guess so. Yeah. I think I was, even when I was in New York, you know, I had been working in like izakaya, you know, in Japanese restaurants. Okay. So
right.
I was using Japanese even back then as well. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, even before I came to Japan, which you know, I was already, I guess, like you said, proficient in the language. Yeah, but I guess sort of like, if we go, I'm trying to think about like when I first picked it up.
Right, or what first motivated you to get into it.
Right. Yeah. So
like,
because
just like a. Oh, sorry. Just like another quick question. Like,
go ahead.
Like first it's like the motivation for the language, and then like, did you even think about going to Japan?
Sure.
Given that you picked up the language at that time.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so I think for the motivation of learning the language, I guess, you know, in the last episode I talked about sort of how, you know, I've always been interested in movies and media, especially pop culture media. And so when I was a kid, I was watching a lot of, you know, not only films, but also a lot of cartoons, anime as well. At that time, the main ones that I was watching were Captain Tsubasa, or Captain Tsubasa, you know, the football anime. Classic.
Yeah, the OG.
Yeah, like somehow, some way you can kick a ball with 2 feet, like 2 people kicking the same ball at once.
Yeah.
You know? Anime, absolute magic. But that one.
Right.
And also Doraemon.
Oh, okay.
So I think when I was a kid, I was already sort of exposed to the sounds of Japanese, on how they sounded and stuff like that. So that's sort of like, I guess, my first exposure to Japanese, right?
Okay.
But then going forward, you know, as I was growing up, you know, I had always sort of like consumed it passively, but I never sort of like wanted to delve deeper into the language itself.
Okay.
Especially like in middle school, I wasn't really particularly interested in it, like because I had, you know, English in mind and stuff like that.
Right.
I think as I was growing up, I think after, you know, when I started uni, like the pop culture wave of Japan was hitting quite hard as well at that time. You know, like big name anime was picking up, and the culture was just hitting the US, you know, like, you know, the pop culture wave essentially was picking up.
Oh, okay. This was like some years before COVID, or
this was some years before COVID. Like, you know, when I started uni in the US is what 2018, 2017, 18?
Yeah, probably around 17, 18.
Yeah, so can't think of an anime that was like peak at that time. What's a good one?
You can't.
Yeah,
because like Attack on Titan came before that, so but, like it wasn't really that.
But even like because of Attack on Titan, like the wave of like Japanese pop culture and anime like picked up really huge, you know.
Fair point. Yeah.
And so, you know, since I had already been exposed to the language at that time, I thought it would be a good sort of like third language to pick up on.
Okay.
So yeah,
cool.
For me, I think again the effects of pop culture and media was really huge on why I wanted to learn Japanese.
Right.
But then again, so for me, right, I because I was exposed to the sounds of the Japanese language when I was a kid, I was already familiar on how it sounded. So for me, it was just about learning the hard materials, like
the rules, grammar, things like that.
So after I did that, that was, I think, the language sort of like, what do you call it? How to say it? Just came together for me quite easily.
Right.
And then so once I sort of, I guess, gained proficiency in the language, at that time I was still in the US, I was working and stuff like that, and
right.
At that time US was getting quite crazy. Not gonna lie. So I think after a couple of years of like being surrounded in like working in a Japanese sort of like atmosphere, meeting Japanese people and stuff like that, I sort of gained interest of like maybe Japan is not quite Japan is a good destination for my next journey, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's after I gained proficiency and basically getting more exposed to the people just a little bit in the culture. And then after that, I sort of decided, well, I think it's a good next step to go to Japan.
So it's more of a gradual process to that, like it's not like there's like one quote unquote aha moment. Well, probably there is, but it's more like a stack, like sort of like a stacking, which results in motivation to learn the language.
For sure. Yeah, that's very true.
Okay.
It's not. I didn't have like, oh my god, I wanted to learn the language immediately, something like that. It was just more like the sort of compounding effects of the things that were surrounding me. Eventually led me to like let's be good at the language. Let's actually pick it up, and I did.
Okay. Cool. This is what I think is pretty cool about that, and which I also want to ask. Did you take any lessons in Japanese, or like was it available? Like could you take credits for it or anything like that?
No.
Like how did you learn it? Yeah. So that's what I want to know. Like, so you basically taught yourself.
Essentially. In uni, of course, there were Japanese classes, but it was always full. I think I mentioned in our last episode that some classes, especially like Korean related, Japanese related, they are always full. They will always be full because there are a lot of people who like those cultures, right? K-pop,
right,
anime, whatever.
That was like the boom.
Yeah. So I was always the unlucky guy, and I was never able to get into them classes, right? So I never I didn't take any Japanese lessons in uni. So when I first started learning, I used textbooks like hiragana and katakana, essentially.
Wait, what textbook is it? Mina no Nihongo? What is it?
I use Genki.
Genki. How could I forget about that? Right. Yeah.
I never used Mina no Nihongo. I never tried it.
I see.
But I used Genki. And I just basically learned the basic grammar and sort of the katakana, hiragana, and some basic kanji.
Right.
But that's sort of like, I guess, the basic steps that I took.
Okay.
So, what about you though? Like, obviously you took classes. Like, was it like?
Yeah.
How were the classes?
The first time I took some classes was actually back in Indonesia.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Yeah, so this was as a preparation for going to Japan.
Sure.
So at that time, it was actually my sister who was really interested with Japanese at first.
Ooh,
but
okay.
Well, but it's funny how things turned out. Like I was the one who went to Japan and all that stuff. But so like at that time, like she was already taking some Japanese lessons, if I remember. So she went there first, and then once me and my family knew that I got accepted to Kyudai, to Kyushu University, my mom decided to put me in the same cram school that my sister went to. So that's how I first started, and just like you, like it was learning the hiragana, katakana, and just basic. What do you call that? Basic kanji.
Entry level.
Exactly, entry level stuff, entry level fundamentals, the foundation. I don't remember exactly what I learned because like it's already been a while, so like, I don't really remember honestly.
Yep.
Like, yeah, probably still wrote some stuff. Initially, I probably still wrote some stuff using like Romaji or like alphabet.
Sure.
And then like eventually, like as I started to gain more proficiency in like hiragana and katakana, then I start to switch to that, and then that's how things went.
Yeah. So I guess really quickly as well, just to introduce to our listeners who are not familiar with the Japanese language system. So hiragana and katakana are essentially the alphabets of the Japanese language, and then
right.
You have katakana, hiragana, and you have kanji. Kanji are basically the Chinese characters,
right?
And hiragana and katakana are anything outside of that, essentially.
Yeah. So the ones that don't look too complicated, well, that's basically hiragana and katakana.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would differentiate it. I would explain to people, and then when it comes to katakana and hiragana, well, hiragana is the most used one, and they look more cursive.
Right.
And katakana is more choppy, sharper.
Right.
More blocky.
Right.
And yeah, that's usually how you can differentiate it. And yeah.
Yeah, and I think there are some different case use scenarios for each sort of, I guess, katakana, hiragana, and kanji as well. Well, in general.
Oh yeah.
In general, you have to know all of them to be able to like communicate or even understand what's going on in Japan. But in general, most katakana will be used for, I think, borrowed words. Like, for example, English words, right? Pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Right. Pizza.
Fried chicken. Chicken. So it's like those things. Instead of writing it in kanji or hiragana, you would write it in katakana.
Right.
Whereas hiragana is more general. Like, you can use it for anything in general.
You're right. That's the general usage alphabet.
And yeah, so just a little bit about hiragana and katakana. But then you have kanji, which is essentially what I would say. Do you think in your opinion, what is the percentage of kanji and how big of a role does it play in the Japanese language, do you think?
Like percentage, like letter-wise, like how much is it used
letter-wise,
as a... Oh, okay. Now, the interesting thing, I think letter-wise, it's probably around 30-40%, I think. So 30-40% is going to be kanji, but whether how important it is or not, interestingly, I learned this from looking at the Japanese proficiency exam, right? So the JLPT.
Yes.
So when I looked at right, that's like the only official Japanese exam. And when I looked at the JLPT, like the levels here, we start with level 5, which is the lowest, going up to level 1.
Yep.
Right? And with level 5, they don't have any kanji at all, from what I remember.
Really? That is crazy.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. So N5, no kanji at all. And my god, it's difficult to navigate. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's hard. So
I see.
Right. So what I'm trying to get here is like, kanji is useful. It's sort of like it can serve as sort of like punctuation and providing context.
Sure.
Because if you don't use kanji, there are a lot of letters in Japanese that sound similar, and they might be used in the sentence consecutively,
Yes. I see what you mean. Yes.
For example, like, you say like something like haha wa ha wa migakimasu, It's like haha wa haha, right? Like, there's so many ha's there, And like, how the hell do you know? Like, how would you know where? Right. It's like those examples. So like, so where would you put like the intonation and things like that?
Yes.
The information, if you don't have kanji, the information is not there.
Yep. You have to be like... Yeah, I mean, how do I say? You can understand the context, but it's like, if you look at it in a text form, you'll be like, huh? Ha 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 shikanai.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Like, it's just like ha 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 ha, It's like, how would you know? You know, it's really hard. So
Yeah.
that's why like kanji is really useful in that way. And the thing is like, exactly because they have kanji, I think that's why we don't really have spaces. You know how like, yeah,
Right.
just like English, Indonesian, like we have spaces in
Right.
the sentence. But with Japanese, there's no such thing. Everything
Yes.
is just like one.
Yep, it's bunched up.
Nothing.
Yes.
Exactly. There's probably a comma and a full stop here and there, but other than that,
Right.
there's nothing else.
That's true. That's
So-
true.
So yeah, that's why I feel like kanji is way more important than people give credit it to, in my opinion.
Yep.
Because like, you know, to be fair, like it's difficult, right? Like I understand why people are frustrated. Like they're like, why do I need to learn this? You know, like
Yes.
why can't I just like use hiragana and katakana? And at one point when I was learning it, that was my stance too. I was like, well, this is kind of useless. Why do I need to learn all
Right.
this stuff?
Yes.
Like I understand that's like it's interesting. Oh, there's like a lot of play of words that you can do. But like, why is it mandatory? You know? And then I saw the exam questions were N5, and then I was like, aha, okay, yeah, we do need it.
You're right.
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah. Interesting point. Yeah, because you know when you think about it, when you're speaking, you don't really need kanji at all. In
No,
fact,
not at all.
You don't need. You don't need it. But when you're
Nope.
reading and when you're writing is when it's the most important part. So I guess it
Yeah.
depends. It kind of depends on how a learner wants to approach Japanese, right? If they want to focus on the oral aspect only, I guess kanji can be, cannot be on the forefront.
yeah, supplementary, right?
Supplementary. But if you want to approach Japanese as a whole, I think kanji obviously is one of the most important parts. Because if you don't understand kanji, it's just the language just feels, you know, when you're reading it, when you're writing it, it's just unplayable.
Yeah, it feels it's very unplayable. Like when it comes to languages, this is like kanji is like one of those concepts where the skill floor is really high, but like
yes.
right, the skill floor is really high, but then like once you get up there, like you start to see all the intricacies or like how you can play around with
True.
the concept, like
True,
with
true,
kanji,
true.
like how can you play around with this? And once it clicks, it's really interesting.
For
'Cause-
sure.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, like well we can, but yeah, like it's there, you know, it's there with
sure.
the language. If you want to understand the culture as well, then understanding kanji is definitely important.
For sure. For
And
sure.
like you said, like if you're like depending on the focus of the person, if you want to only have like more oral Japanese instead of like focusing on like literature, then yeah, by all means, like kanji is it can be secondary.
For sure.
You don't have
for
to
sure.
put it on the forefront. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Very much true.
So yeah.
But yeah, I guess one quick thing that I was quite interested as well is the idea of textbooks, right? Because I think we both used textbooks when we were, I guess, first approaching the language.
We
But
sure did.
I think them textbooks, I think it's only good for some parts. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
for the basic stuff like learning the hiragana and katakana, I think I would really recommend people to use textbooks for practice.
Oh, for sure.
But I feel like most Japanese textbooks, they are really detached from like actual real Japanese that's being used. And I feel like if you
Oh, yeah.
you use them textbooks for way too long, you'd end up I think they can actually be detrimental to your learning experience actually. What do you think?
For sure. So if you don't have any person to talk with, or like let's say any teacher to guide you through it, then I agree. Like if you only follow a textbook, then the development of Japanese for you is going to be more, what do you call that? It's going to be more, well, I wouldn't say like unnatural, but it would be, yeah, like you said, detached from the real thing, because you have no exposure at that point.
Sure. Yeah, because the thing is with Japanese, right? I feel like it's a bit different than like other languages. In English, like what's written on a textbook can sometimes be directly used in real life. Like,
Okay.
you know, like for example, grammar-wise, right?
Okay.
Whereas, let's say the book teaches you, oh, I ate dinner yesterday at a restaurant. You can directly say that to someone, and they'll be like, oh, sounds like natural English, right?
Right,
But
right.
let's say you're talking to your friend, and they ask you, 昨日何をした? Like, what did you do yesterday? And
right.
you say like, あ、昨日私はご飯を飲食店で食べました. It sounds very robotic, right?
Right, right.
But that's what the textbook teaches you to do, right?
Right,
Whereas
right.
in a more natural one, you would just say, あ、昨日ご飯食べた.
Right, right.
So it's like those little things,
yeah.
you know? I feel like the textbooks can be very, like, just very strict or very katai.
Right. Okay, yeah, exactly. A very katai, very strict, very rigid. There we go. Yeah, rigid.
Yeah, rigid.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a word. Yeah. I agree with that. Like, I feel like this is sort of a compromise that they have to pay for being a textbook.
Sure.
Because when you're making a textbook, like, you have to make it so that it's understandable by the people who are reading them.
Fair enough.
And for example, like, if you have like an English Japanese textbooks for English learner, then, well, you want to teach them, like, you know, start saying like watashi wa means I am, and then you have to say this thing and that thing. So
sure.
it's more of like a 1-to-1, which is not wrong. But this is why a lot of people say Japanese is a high context language, because like the example you said, like, you know, like kino nani tabeta, like, if you try to translate it literally to English, what it says is like, yesterday what ate, you know? See, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you try to translate it 1-to-1, like, it doesn't make sense. But that's just how Japanese work.
Right.
Japanese, there's a lot of inferring of information.
Yes.
Like, if you're talking with someone, then, well, there's sort of like a guessing game-ish, but for some reason, if you spoke the language long enough, you eventually get it.
Yeah.
You eventually get it that, like...
Makes sense.
Yeah. Right. If like, for example, in the case of like, kino nani o tabeta, if they didn't ask you specifically who the person is, then like, oh, it's automatically second person, it's automatically you.
Right, exactly.
And vice versa with the answer, it's like, oh, kino nani tabeta, and it's like, oh, takoyaki tabeta, you know?
Something like that, yeah.
Same thing. And then if they don't have anything, then that means I.
Exactly.
So, this is like the prime example, right, of that happening, like
For
the context inferring. But in other languages, like, not in other languages, there are like a few other examples, but this is, I feel like, the prime one, the biggest example.
For sure. Yeah, you know, high context versus low context, and I think, you know, it's a good for new learners who are approaching Japanese. I think understanding that from the beginning, from the get-go, can be really helpful, especially if you're trying to achieve proficiency. Because otherwise, you're gonna be stuck thinking, I'm like, oh, why are they not asking me the, you know, it's like natural Japanese might sound like it's not grammatically correct because you're omitting all the subjects, the objects, whatever.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
But that's the natural one. The natural one is actually quite botchy, you know.
It is,
so if you come in with the mindset that, oh man, it has to be perfect, like, you know, I need to be like, there has to be a subject, object, verb. Well, in reality, that is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's quite an important mindset to have, I think, when you're approaching the language.
Right. And yeah, this is why, like you said, like, some media exposure to the language is quite necessary.
For sure.
I think, well, I mean, like, initially, like you mentioned, how you picked up the Japanese pronunciation from anime, right? And I feel like it's also important, like, well, you don't have to understand everything, but like, if you have like more exposure to anime, or like maybe like, okay, the reason why I recommended VTubers is because they usually, well, sometimes they would talk about things that are more daily life related, you know? So unlike anime, where, like, you know, you have to learn about, like, oh, there's like the hidden village, and then there's ninjas, and then like the Hokage and all that stuff, right? Or like, right, yeah, Naruto, ne? Or like, I don't know, like trying to become the pirate king or all that. And it's like, so there's like a lot of words that you wouldn't use, but with streaming or with VTubers, well, sometimes you would just talk about food. You know, it could be just like, maybe they're having a collab, and then like it's two people or two friends like talking, and so like it's more natural that way. So that's why, like, if you just like see how people actually do it, well, of course, like, so first learn from the textbook, like if you don't have the basics, and then have some exposure of the language from anywhere, really, like from any type of media that you like.
Very good
and
point.
Then just see, like, sure, question, why is it like that, why is it like this. Well, don't try to dig too deep into it. Sometimes, like, there are some things that you just gotta accept at first.
Sure,
you're just
for
like,
sure.
oh, okay, that's how it works, okay. But yeah, so yeah, media exposure is definitely like an important part.
For sure. And one quick thing about you said I want to be the pirate king. You know what's so funny? The English one obviously makes sense, right? But the Japanese one is I'm not sure if I don't know if you remember it, but it's kaizoku ni ore wa naru. Like it's
Okay.
completely the subject now is at the back. Kaizoku ni.
Oh, okay,
ore wa
okay.
naru. It becomes at the end.
Yes, this is the
one of the most common things that you'll find in Japanese learning or Japanese language. The subjects can be at the end of the sentence, and it's fine. Don't be surprised.
Right. Oh, this is a fun fact. Okay, like, this is probably gonna be a bit more for like advanced Japanese learners, but this is the old discussion of like ha and ga. Like, I don't know if you've ever looked into this, but this used to be a huge thing, like, amongst me and my friends. Like, what is the difference between ha and ga? Right? Because, like,
question. Yeah.
Right, because usage-wise, like, they seem pretty similar. There's not too much differences. But when you mentioned that, it's like kaizoku ni ore wa naru. Ore wa, right? What was it?
Ore wa.
Right. So let me know if you agree with this. So wa is to emphasize something. That is why, like you said, it can be put almost anywhere in the sentence. But if it's like something wa and then something, the verb, then that's the emphasis of the sentence. So that's why, like, the kaizoku ni ore wa naru, And, like, of course, in English, like, it would be difficult because you have to say, like, the one who becomes the pirate king is gonna be me, like, it's
Sure.
There's just so much things that you have to add there.
Right.
But with Japanese, like, you can just like just like a object, and then you put a particle, object, particle, that's it, you're done. And so, like, as long as you put like ore wa, that means like, oh, the emphasis is me, I, right? It's like in English when you're saying like, I'm the one who's gonna be pirate king.
Interesting. Because so
it's like
so
putting
funny,
emphasis
right?
there.
I had the same discussion with some of my friends as well, and they said the opposite. Like, guys when you actually want to emphasize things.
Interesting.
Or yeah, honestly, I think a lot of Japanese people sort of like they can't give a right reason on like why or what is the difference between ha and ga. But I think in general you would use wa in general. Ga is like, oh man, like, so I'm trying to think on some of the occasions where like, let's say I would use ga over wa. I think, for example, like repeating information, maybe.
Repeating, okay.
I'm trying to think of one. Like, for example.
Yes.
Or yeah, it's quite difficult. Even I can't. Yeah.
It's
just it's one of the trap holes in the language.
Right. Yeah, it's very. I do like see, like, from us, like, just having a difficult time trying to explain it. Like, it's just, how do I put this? It's so, the rules are very varied, like, it's
Truly.
Like, that's why, like, Japanese, like, that's why, like, a lot of people say, like, it's high context, because there's a lot of, like, you just feel it.
Truly.
You kind of get, just try to feel it, man. Like, you're gonna get it eventually. And this is one of those examples. Yeah, I don't think we're kind of equipped to explain this. Like, this is this
even like
yeah.
Even those who've learned it for a while, who are living in Japan, it's hard to explain it. And even Japanese people, if you ask them, like, what's the difference between wa and ga, and I'm like, they'll be like, unless they are Japanese teachers, they will have question marks on their head as well.
It is difficult. It's really difficult to
it's like I think it's like this, maybe question mark. Just try it out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And see, this is like another thing I'd like to point out as well. Like, this is a good example of why it's best to learn language by mimicry or like by shadowing. This is like one of the prime examples.
Right.
You don't have to understand the reasons behind it. Like, logically, you don't have to understand it.
Sure.
You just have to, just do what other people do, and eventually your intuition will grow.
True. That's actually a very good point.
This is right. Yeah, this is one of the prime examples.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah. Even like, let's say, let's say a new learner to Japanese, right? Let's say they only have learned hiragana and katakana. Like, even like, in Japanese media, with subtitles or with books or whatever, sometimes you'll often see next to kanji, like katakana or hiragana. Those are what we call furigana. So
right, furigana, yeah.
Even for learners who, let's say, are not equipped to learn or have not learned kanji at all, like, you can still read what they're saying because you have furigana.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually quite accessible, especially if you have subtitles with furigana and you can listen the audio. Your intuition can really kick in.
That is huge. Yeah, like having something to watch or read that has furigana or like has the readings for the kanji is huge.
Yes.
And this is why like a lot of people would recommend you read something like from Shonen Jump.
Yes.
Like, or something geared for young readers.
Yes.
Because they will have furigana, and like it's going to be very easy for you to
100%.
start picking up.
Yeah. Like, even let's say
and all that.
Yeah, like even let's say when you are beginning, like really new, and you've just learned, the basics, like read them, Doraemon, I don't know,
right.
Like, those are really easy to understand.
They
don't use any difficult kanji because, again, it's for kids, right? So
exactly.
It's very accessible, and once you sort of like understand them sounds, the Japanese sounds, the katakana, hiragana, whatever, and the nuances of it, then you can start approaching kanji, which will probably, take, I think, 80% of your time if you are actually trying to understand and be proficient at the language as a whole.
Yeah, it will take quite a huge chunk of your time, but it's going to be like a natural process.
For sure.
Like, don't really fret over it too much.
Yeah, it's like I said,
bit
by bit, natural process, and it might seem really daunting because I think some people will say like there are probably thousands of kanji that you need to memorize and stuff like that. Well, so here's some good news.
Yeah.
Even Japanese people, they can't read some kanji.
Oh, for sure.
There are some kanjis just like I don't know how you read them, especially like city names, station names. You just like listen to the
names,
announcement, and hopefully they say what the pronunciation is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
that's the thing about names.
Yeah.
But names is like another can of worms, though.
For sure.
For now, you can just forget about it. You can learn like a few common Japanese names. That's it. You don't have to learn the more archaic, the more uncommon station or city names.
For
like,
sure.
That's for some other time.
That's some other time. But yeah. But just approaching kanji in general, right? So when you're trying to approach kanji, I think it's important to sort of understand that kanji came from China, right? It's not. It's not. It's not. I guess the original one from Japan is hiragana and katakana. Kanji is from China.
Right.
So in kanji, there are actually two sort of pronunciations, right? So
there are two pronunciations, right?
The first one is the original Chinese pronunciation, what you would call onyomi, right? And then the second one is the Japanese pronunciation that you would call kunyomi.
Yeah.
So when you are approaching kanji, you will often see many types of reading or how to basically pronounce them. So for example, I think one example is the word to eat, taberu. So it's probably one of the earlier sort of what do you call it, kanji that you would learn in your journey.
So
taberu is kunyomi it's the Japanese pronunciation, right? Because
yeah, that's the
you
the
have
kunyomi.
you have the kanji ta and then beru, so taberu.
Right.
But each kanji will most often have its kunyomi, its onyomi, sorry, the Chinese pronunciation. So in this case, taberu, the onyomi is shoku, like shokuji.
Okay.
Like shokuji.
Right.
Food.
Yeah.
So
shokuji.
It's when you're approaching them, those things you without, if you don't understand, if you only understand one part, the other part can be really confusing going forward. Actually.
Yeah, this is. Well, this can also be like another part where people think it's daunting to learn kanji. Because, like, oh, there's like one letter, but there's so many ways to read it. How do I know which one is which? To which, yeah, right. Like it's understandable that people would have this worry. But to which I'd say, like, I think if you're starting learning Japanese, a lot of the words that you're going to learn is going to be kunyomi.
Yes,
so it's going to be the Japanese reading most of the time.
Yes.
Because, so like, the way I would explain it is with kunyomi, it's usually one kanji followed by a bunch of hiragana or katakana. Right?
Sure.
And then, like with onyomi, it's usually two kanji stacked into one.
Yes.
And that's when you would start to use like onyomi.
Sure.
And I think when you're starting out, like when you're just using, when you just start out using the language, most of the words are going to be kunyomi.
Yes.
So it's okay. You can just like focus on that first. And then you can maybe see, okay, what other words use this kanji? So, yeah, like the taberu thing, right? Like the taberu and then shoku. There's what? Shoku, shokuji, shokuyoku. Right.
Appetite.
And then shokuzai.
Right. True.
Yeah. And then teishoku.
Yes.
There's like... So, there's like... Well, it will come naturally eventually. And the good thing is, I think the majority of words don't have too much alternative readings. They only have like probably only one or two. So one kunyomi and one onyomi.
True.
And usually it's like that.
Unless it's the word for nama.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Well, that's...
unless, anyway.
That's... Right. That's like a...
There are some special scenarios. There are some special cupcakes in the language.
Exactly. Right. It's just, I mean, guys, it's, this is the type of, I wouldn't really say nonsense, but let's just say nonsense, right? This is the nonsense that you have to keep up with if you want to learn Japanese. And what I'm trying to say is, other languages have their other baggage too.
Sure.
It's not exclusive only with Japanese.
Yep.
Japanese just seems daunting. The skill floor seems pretty high.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, other languages also have their nonsense to deal with as
True.
well.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid. Every language is difficult if you look at it that way. So
Yeah.
Just start at it. It's okay. Just start at it and like you'll be fine.
True. Yep. Well, I guess do you have any like particular tips on learners who want to approach kanji in general?
Other than taking it slow.
Yeah, like any apps that you would use, or like when you were learning kanji, right? How did you approach kanji that, let's say, you didn't know, and stuff like that?
Okay. So this, I think, I know we talked about like how textbooks might not be necessary in the later stages. The one thing that I think will still be useful is kanji textbooks.
True.
Kanji textbooks, I think, will still be useful.
Yep.
It will help you like practice writing the letters, and some good textbooks also explain like why certain kanjis are the way they are. So for if you already learned Chinese or Japanese, like for example the kanji for I, right, me, that it basically started out as an eye drawing, and so now we have like a rectangle with like two lines inside them,
right? Yes.
Which kind of looks like an eye. So that's, if you want to learn kanji, just like look like the origin, look up like some learning resources that explains like the origin of it.
True.
Or like why does it look a certain way?
Yeah, like for example,
like why does the
the kanji for tree, ki, it looks like a tree.
Right.
It literally looks
exactly.
like a tree.
It looks like a tree, and then like the kanji for person, well, it looks like a person-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
True.
Like that one is a bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like
Yeah. Bimyo.
But yeah, the tree one, yeah, definitely. It's pretty bimyo. It's bimyo as hell. Like why is this a person? But well, that's for another day.
Yep. For sure.
Other one is like I think an easy one is fire. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Fire is pretty easy.
Yep. Makes sense.
Moon as well. It kind of looks like a crescent moon.
Yep.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So the thing about kanji, like it gets fun when you try to if you try to understand like why does it look the way it does.
Yes.
Or like if you try to understand like the writing rules, you know, how do you start your strokes?
Yep.
What are the general rules? One of the reasons why I had an easy time with kanji is because I studied Chinese for a bit. So I already knew the rules, like how it worked.
There you go.
So, yeah.
You know,
so, like, like, you know, some people are saying, like, you know, why do I have to follow the stroke order? I'm not using a brush. This is, like, come on. This, like, why do I have to learn all this?
Yep.
This is so annoying. This is bullshit, you know? Like, why do I have to keep up with this, right?
Fair enough.
But it really helps, like, when you are building, well, you're building like your repertoire, you know, you're building like your vocabulary. It really helps. Like if you have a general rule on like how you can start writing something, then it's easier for you to learn newer kanji.
For sure.
So yeah, those are my two big tips. Like try to find something that explains like okay, the origin of the kanji and then like how to write them properly. Just
good point.
Practice, you know, drawing it a bunch of times, and that's why like kanji textbooks I think is. That's the exception.
Yep. Very
Other textbooks, sure, you know, but kanji textbooks, I would say you would want to keep it for a bit longer.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting, right?
So, yeah.
Because I didn't use kanji textbooks whatsoever.
So, okay.
I didn't have. That's why for me textbooks weren't really helpful. Once I finished the hiragana and katakana.
Yeah.
Because what I did, so I'm not sure if this would work for a lot of people, but I would force read news and articles. I was forced read myself to read news and articles, and basically, you know, read the furigana.
Okay.
So when I was first approaching kanji, it was mostly listening to the news, like the audio part, and then I would read like bit by bit, like, oh, this kanji reads this, and then I would look up the meaning, and I'd be like, oh, this means this. And personally, that was for me how I sort of approached kanji. I didn't use textbooks, so.
Oh, okay.
But there you go. You have like two different perspectives that you can try for yourself.
Yeah.
I think looking at the origins of the words can be really helpful. It makes understanding it really easy. But for me, I was more of a listening guy, so I didn't really care about reading.
Okay.
Or writing.
Yeah, that's right. Like it's especially like when you start learning, it's a good idea to like try to explore everything that you can. So for example, like with your example with the news, you know, like I imagine like some people might be frustrated, like, oh, why is this kanji like this, or they might have questions. Right. And the alternative or the solution to that is like, well, yeah, there is a reason why it's like that, and if that makes you more motivated or interested to learn the language, then by all means go for it. For sure. Yeah, that's the third tip, I suppose. Like do whatever suits you. That's what I found. That's what I think gave me a little bit more interest to kanjis, just like learning why it is the shape the way they are. So yeah, for sure.
Very, very, very great tips for sure. But yeah, I guess I think sort of like a nice way to wrap up this whole section is just to really, we talked in depth about kanji and the woes that come with it.
Yep.
And you might think to yourself, like, is it really that important? Like, do I really have to understand it, learn it? So what do you think? Do you think that kanji is important? Like
it's important.
Yeah. And why would you say so?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, it's important if you want to understand the language as a whole. So eventually you will have to encounter it in one way or another. So it's important to a certain extent.
Yep.
Like even if like you're not going to use it, even if you're going to focus more on conversations, it's still a useful thing to know. Just to know, like, because like, okay, like not even Japanese people will have a hard time writing every single kanji, or like even like the ones that they use daily, like they're going to have a hard time, especially now that like we have like autofill, like when you're typing on the keyboard and they give you like kanji recommendations.
Sure.
Like, yeah, people are not going to remember how to write it, and so it's okay. You don't have to be too hard on yourself for that.
Yep.
But it's still a core part of the language. So I would say to have the complete puzzle, then you will need that piece.
True.
And kanji is that one piece. That one piece. Okay.
Right. Very true.
Anyway.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Yeah. I very much agree with that. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think, kanji is for sure important. But again, if you're trying to just converse in it, it's not the most, it's not essential per se. But once you...
No, it's not.
The more you want to delve deeper into the language and the culture, like, for example, in my situation, if you want to work here, then kanji is a must know. So, especially
for
reading
sure.
it. But yeah, people might always say like, oh, kanji is going to be the hardest part. But don't approach it as the hardest part. Approach it as the fun part. It's one part of the learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I make it fun.